Canada is a highly developed country. Crimes are relatively low compared to other countries. Peaceful, prosperous, reasonable Canada has long suffered from a reputation of being one of the most boring countries in the world. Canadian culture is chronically introverted. People are quite reserved, and there is a kind of depressingly pin-drop silence across the country, even in Toronto. People are shy, not talking with strangers except giving direction. Civilized but extremely tensed up. Serious, hardly smile or laugh. Robotic and multicultural but not intermingling. Let's find out which cities are most boring in this silent country. Regina is the capital of Saskatchewan. It is more conservative, old-fashioned and unappealing city compared to Saskatoon. It still has unresolved issues of poor public transport, poor roads, worst parking, drugs and crime, inconvenience of small town with problems of big cities, almost nothing to do for fun around, and crumbling infrastructure. City lacks theaters, shopping malls, concerts, and restaurants. City experience harsh winter and sporadic weather conditions. Racism is a social norm in the province, said the Saskatchewan Human Rights Commission. Regina reports numerous incidents of racism, hate, or discrimination. Vancouver is among the world's most mind-numbingly boring cities. It also ranked as unhappiest city in the country. Long traffic commutes, extremely high housing prices, high population densities, and large proportion of foreign-born residents are few factors after its unhappiness. It is gloomy and loneliest. It always overcast and grays every day. City got its nickname Vancouver as it nearly rains 169 days a year. Nightlife and shopping is bad. Social scene is average. It's not bad city if you like nature and outdoor stuff. Vancouver and Toronto are ranked as unhappiest city in Canada. Unemployment, depression, anxiety are up in Toronto. Toronto is now grown up enough to be rife with contradictions. Let's agree that its dullness is what makes it exciting. The city is 51% foreign-born. And multiculturalism no doubt has its crises, and those crises are accelerating. Toronto may be the last city in the world that unabashedly desires difference. Young people have left in droves, and 60% of youth in GTA thought about suicide. Thunder Bay was a city built on lumber, mining and shipping. Now the lumber industry is failing. There is no mining nearby and harbor is almost useless. City is still in transition. Climate is brutal and city is very remote. Many believe there is not much to do in Thunder Bay. It is a very boring city. Traffic is worst. Shopping is okay. Thunder Bay is most violent city in Canada. The gangs from around found their way here, and police are in transition to becoming better equipped. The city is pretty much facing the perfect storm of a poor economy, severe cultural differences, and mind-boggling isolation. Boring award named Victoria, one of the most boring cities in Canada. There is a certain angst about being young in Victoria. You have this spectacular location, unbelievable wealth, and resources, yet the city can be a bit dull. Young people feel very stifled in Victoria. Few locals believe that city embraces lethargy, early to bed and obsessed with brunch, and at night everything closes at 9 o'clock. It is a city of bureaucracy, all retired, whose only goal is to go slower. Crime is high in Victoria and it's increasing every year, especially violent crime. Abbotsford was declared the most boring city in Canada in Boring Awards. According to locals, the majority of population is fundamental Mennonites. So the city doesn't have enough club, bars, nightlife, or after-hour venues. There is absolutely no culture, no galleries, fine dining, or anything for that matter to young generation. There is no place to go for entertainment in the city. Only parks and playgrounds for the kids. It's sleepy and the winters are pretty horrible, especially if you don't own a car. In 2009, Abbotsford was named Canada's per capita murder capital due to gangs involved in drug trade. Brampton is among the most diverse cities in the country. Largest ethnic group in Brampton is South Asians, who account for 44.3% of the population. Mostly traditional, stereotype, and not willing to accept Canadian culture and resisting themselves to own communities. The city is super rude, racist, ill-mannered, and the highest in number when it comes to break laws. City has suburbia filled with no real downtown or university. You will find plenty of parks with no one around and feel as if you are alone in the world. Lethbridge has a windy climate, warm summer and mild winter because of its proximity to the Canadian Rocky Mountains. The city had the highest crime severity index among major cities in Canada. It is small, religious and more conservative city, and tackling racism in such small town is incredibly difficult. It is poorly planned and boring suburb with high property taxes. It is least entertaining and too much windy. Laval is the second biggest city in Quebec, although it's mostly suburban. According to locals, city was developed with next to zero urban planning. It's an extensive mess of boring, ill-planned, unconnected neighborhoods. The city is not glamorous and there is no culture scene. The city has been in the news in recent years because of corruption and scandals that involve money and violence. Laval is said to be Canada's second most boring city behind Ottawa. Ottawa is a business city with endless politicians and government buildings. If your type of fun is nightlife, busy streets, staying up late meeting with people, then yes, Ottawa is pretty boring. Ottawa boredom is a symptom of larger problem. Downtown is nowhere as safe as it used to be. Shooting happens. There are beggars, homeless people, drug dealers, and people who are very drunk. There are two different linguistic cultures here, and Ottawa is not at all open to newcomers. Many believe city is not only boring but also rude, depressed, expensive, and lack entertainment. According to Bill Wilkerson, Ottawa is the depression capital of Canada and has been for the past 10 years. In Boring Awards, Ottawa was voted the most boring city in Canada.
Please like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe our channel. Press bell icon to see updates on our latest videos.